too, but that's definitely not the 60s.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
some
it is. There's something about you too. Yeah, Buddy Holly, Ben Hur, Space Monkey Mafia, Hula
Space
Hoops,
Monkey,
Castro,
Space Monkey.
Edsel is a no-go.
Does Space
All
Monkey
those-
refer to the Planet of the Apes, or does it refer to something else?
It refers to,
Or does it refer to the monkeys we
to
sent in
the-
space,
the
or
Russian-
Sputnik?
Yeah, to the.
But that
to
was
the
later.
monkeys we sent in space.
But I thought Sputnik. I thought it was like, wasn't that a dog? Wasn't it Leike, who was early 60s? I guess they
Laika
still
was
did it though.
Laika was the
Laika.
dog. They don't.
Laika.
The lyric isn't Space Dog, but
Space
U2,
Dog.
by the way, the American U2 spy plane was the first thing he mentioned that took place in the 60s. All that
Oh,
other stuff took
that
place in the 50s.
U2. That makes more sense.
Syngman Rhee. Here's a list of all the other things you could have said. Syngman Rhee, Payola, Chubby Checker Psycho, Belgians in the Congo,
Psycho.
Hemingway, Eichmann, Stranger in a Strange Land, Bob Dylan, Berlin's Separation, Bay of Pigs Invasion, Lawrence of Arabia, British Beeble Mania,
The Beatles.
Beeble Mania, Ole Miss, John Glenn, Liston Beats Patterson, Pope Paul, Malcolm X, British Politician Sex. Really was hoping we'd get to that one. Birth Control, Ho Chi Minh, Richard Nixon back
Ho Chi
again.
Minh.
And
Was he back again though during the 60s? I don't think he was back
He was.
until
Yeah, so
70s.
he gets mentioned. So Watergate gets mentioned in the 70s, but Richard Nixon back again, meaning that he got elected president in 1968. But he also got mentioned earlier in the song when he became a senator. So I would have accepted.
Okay.
I would have accepted that. By the way, to clear things up, Woodstock was an unnamed bird. This is kind of what I thought. Woodstock didn't have a name until June 22nd, 1970, and at the time he was named after the music festival.
Oh. Wait, the bird in the
interesting.
cartoon, or you just mean in general a bird is now called?
In the Peanuts,
The
right?
Peanuts character,
Right.
Woodstock.
Okay.
I don't think there's an actual Woodstock. Are you? There's not a Woodstock bird. Are you saying that there's a Woodstock?
The chat room is saying that there's a town called
woodpecker.
Woodstock and that there was a
There's
bird.
a town. Well, the town. Yeah, the
That's
town
where it
of
was at.
Woodstock is where the festival.
Somewhere.
Oh, no, I guess it was held in Bethel's. It was Woodstock. It was
the province of
Gasper's
Woodstock.
Farm.
Yeah. While you're thinking, I think it was me.
Woodstock
chat room.
County.
Chat room. I think it was me that killed the stream. So when I lost, I think I freaked out and hit the stream off.
Freak out. I wonder why my-
Slammed your hand down on the.
Because I have this little remote like Stream Deck thing, and it's got buttons, and if I whack them hard, I'll lose it. I'll lose the stream and the record. Actually, it stopped recording as well. The video.
Whack-a-mole.
Anyway, so I think it was me when I lost. If it wasn't me, it might have been Twitch, because over the last couple of days they've been just having this issue where people are getting kicked off for no reason. So it's possible that happened too. I don't know. Could be one of those two things. Anyway,
Luke Skywalker 007 says the Woodstock concert has a bird in its logo. It does, but I think that was just like a dove of peace sitting on the neck of the guitar. I think that's what that was to symbolize. It wasn't.
Oh my God! I guess we're doing Woodstock trivia next time.
Yeah.
That sounds like
I guess
it's a deep
so.
dive.
yeah.
You know, actually,
Didn't we
keep
just
that in
have
the back of your head.
that's another big anniversary that just happened, right? 50 year or
It
something?
is, yeah, the 50th anniversary of Woodstock that my
Yeah.
mom would have gone to if she wasn't pregnant with me.
Oh, wow.
Which she reminds you of weekly.
She reminds me of
Right.
every single time.
Yeah, you get mud and everything.
You know what this reminds me of? The time I could have went to Woodstock.
There are people
Right, exactly.
people died at that thing. That's what no one ever remembers. Like, people died from just being at Woodstock. Deaths,
Yeah,
Oh,
being
really?
at Woodstock,
Yeah,
drugs,
We,
everything.
like-
Kidding me?
like-
Dangerous
like
place.
ODs, like
Dehydration. Oh, I'm sure there were.
some
yeah.
dehydration
Kidding.
stuff. So it says here, what were the major causes? Let's see, 10 things. Okay, here we go. I'm going to find this here. Of
Yeah,
death at the
I'm
original
curious about
festival. It
this.
says, here we go. Abby
Dysentery.
Gadd recently pointed out there were 2 deaths at Woodstock. Oh, there's only 2?
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, I thought there were more. First person died was Raymond Mizak, a 17-year-old from Trenton, New Jersey, who died when a tractor pulling a wagon ran over his chest. Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
That's awful. The other death was 18-year-old a
Seems like
Marine.
it could have been avoided.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
drunk. An 18-year-old Marine, Richard Beeler, who was scheduled to leave for Vietnam.
Beeler.
First went to the festival. He was home on leave. The county coroner suspected he had died from heroin overdose. This was never officially confirmed in an autopsy. Okay, there were only 2. I thought there were a whole bunch more than that for some reason.
No.
But with
That's
that
'cause,
many people, you probably
Jefferson
expect it.
Airplane was there to warn people not to take the brown acid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They
to be cool.
Yeah,
Be cool.
They should have warned
cool.
that they were going to be Starship one day and write terrible music. That's what they should have done.
That's right, exactly. Stop listening to us in the 70s, please. We
Yeah.
beg you.
Yeah, we're about to get real bad, is what they should have said. All right, well, this sounds for me right here. This goes to Brian,
Congratulations. You're a winner.
and therefore we have a winner in our midst.
That was,
Clark,
that
well
was
done.
way too hard.
It was a good pick. It was a good pick.
You need to take it down a notch, brother.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was trying to. It was going to originally be the entire lyrics of "We Didn't Start the Fire," and I figured we'd be here for hours because you'd be like, "All right, well, what's something famous that happened?" And
no, that was actually good. I'm glad we needed a challenging one. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
All right.
I liked it. Here's the deal. You know how to get in contact with Brian. Once you've done that, Brian will forward me some info so I can get you this print pack on its way. And we congratulate you once again on your victory.
Awesome.
Well done.
Appreciate it.
Bye, Clark. It is your house on fire, Clark.
Exactly. Every time I hear Clark, that's what I always think.
yeah,
Clark Griswold.
You know, you're supposed to think of Superman. You're supposed to think of Lois Lane or something. But no, I
Nope.
think of the lady who did the voice of Betty Boop in the 20s and 30s, going on Christmas vacation and saying,
They want you to say grace.
I want you to say grace, the blessing.
The blessing.
So good. All right.
Also,
anyway.
my favorite. What, William Hickey, was that his name?
William Hickey. He's so good.
William Hickey roll.
You
Jesus
want
Christ.
it? You got it. Toyota. What's that one from? What movie? He did
That's
it with...
that was Forget Paris with Billy Crystal.
All right. You asked for it. You got it. He's so good.
He's great. The whole time driving in Billy Crystal's car, just reading every sign they pass in that voice.
Sharon says Monsters Inc. That is incorrect. The other one he did was what's the other one? Oh, he's great in Nightmare Before Christmas. He plays the little mad scientist in the wheelchair. He's very good in that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. We've done good in the world today. We got Clark off with some prizes, and Dunaway got his brain worked out today. Nice job.
Yes.
Brian Dunaway, of course, of the Brian Dunaway fame on Twitter. We got lots of cool stuff going on. I can't remember. Are we doing a boop today, or are we bumping? I can't remember what we're doing.
We said that every other week was going to be our new schedule and was going to do some streaming. So this week is supposed to be our streamy week.
Oh, it's
I
streamy
wasn't
week.
sure if you were going to stream anything tonight. I will definitely be streaming some No Man's Sky.
Yeah. That's what we said. So that's something to keep track of. And he's Brian Dunaway on the Twitch there.
On the Twitch.
And he's doing 2 hours a day, which is rad. So help him.
Totally red.
Help him.
I need a nap.
He needs to get partnered. Get him partnered, everybody. That's the next goal. Wait, is it partnered or what's the other thing? Affiliated?
Yeah, I'm already affiliated, so I need to be partnered.
Yeah,
now.
let's partner.
So if you could send me some cowboy hats. By the way, this month is September. Don't forget half price subs for everybody.
Ooh, that sounds real nice. So don't forget to do that. Brian will be around there doing that stuff. You can find him at the Brian Dunaway on Twitter. As always, Brian, have a fantastic day and week. We'll see you Wednesday.
Like I said.
Bye now. Okay.
Very good. Very good.
That was fun. It was a good one. Good topic. That worked out great. Except, oh man, I just don't remember that song very well. I remember some of the words.
I know.
But Buddy Holly. 59. Come on. Wait one
At
more
least
year.
at least Buddy Holly was mentioned in there, so you did get that.
Right. It's just the wrong decade.
But just the wrong decade, yeah.
Dope. All right. Well, on that note, let's do this.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
It's the news, and it's brought to you by.
Brought to you by America's Next Top Podcaster. Our first episode records tonight, which means it's going to be out on the feeds in just a couple weeks, which means it's a very good time to get caught up on season 1. If you have not listened to season 1, or if you have not listened to all of the great diary episodes that Alex has been recording, the interviews with all of the contestants and judges, now's a great time to get caught up with all that stuff at americasnexttop.podcaster.com.
Very exciting.
Are you ready, Scott? Are you ready?
I don't feel ready, but I'm sure I will be. Yeah. When's our first judge night? That's not tonight, is it? Is it tonight?
Oh no, 1 week from today will be the first judge night.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Tonight we got to give them a challenge.
Yeah, they got to get going on their stuff before we can hear it. That's true.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited. The same
we
judges.
could just judge them. We could just judge them on on how they sound in the show tonight.
Yeah, we can prejudge everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? All right, let's take a look at what's going on around the world. The important news of the day. Like this one. I got this for you because, I don't know, I thought you'd appreciate it.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
It surprises me.
Me too. Kind of caught me off guard. Vinyl is going to outsell CDs for the first time since 1986.
Wow.
What?
That's crazy. Crazy.
That's insane.
You know why, though? It's because vinyl now costs $48 for one album. That's how, like, basically they're going to sell five records, and that's going to
and that'll just do it.
CDs.
Yeah, because I assume this isn't a volume thing, although, man, let's get into it here. It says, the revelation comes in a mid-year report from the Recording Industry Association of America, or the RIAA. They're sometimes dicks. Anyway. Last year, the report revealed that CD sales are dying 3 times as fast as vinyl sales are growing, and it's more the same this year. The new report states that vinyl records earned 224.1 million from 8.6 million units, and that's in the first half of 2019. This figure is impressively close to the CD numbers, which is 247.9 million and 18.6 million units sold. The Beatles sold 300,000 vinyl records in 2018. By the way, it's a little side note. The Beatles. That's a lot of records.
Yeah. That's people going, like, you know, they've had these great deals on getting the whole Beatles catalog on vinyl on, like, you know, whatever, 120-gram vinyl reissues, remasters, and stuff.
Has that been a thing? I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get yourself a deal on some vinyl.
I still
Beatles.
have the original ones. Like, I still have the original Beatles on vinyl stuff.
Do you ever say what your favorite Beatle album is? Have you ever done that here?
I'd have a hard time deciding if it's Rubber Soul or Revolver. It's definitely one of those two.
Interesting. Everyone always says White Album or Abbey Road, but you would say those others.
I would say Rubber Soul or Revolver,
All right.
without question.
All right.
Yeah.
I like the cut of your jib.
Because that's how I roll.
Which one has the least amount of only left channel or right channel audio? Because those drive me crazy. There was a period there when everybody was doing it, and I hate it. Hate it.
Well, I mean, there's they were mono. They were recorded in mono, so it's just you're getting a bad recording if it's only coming in on one ear. It should just sound the same between both ears.
Well, what I mean is, they'll have a song where the guitar is over here only, 100% left ear, and then voice is 100% right ear.
Oh yeah, no, Yellow Submarine was like that, and that did drive me nuts. It was fun when I was a kid to, like, you know, plug in one speaker and just hear the vocals and not the music. Or you hear like an echoey chamber of the music. Yeah. I'm looking at the two listings. I'm gonna say Rubber Soul is my.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because I'm not a fan of the song Yellow Submarine, and that was on there on Revolver. But Rubber Soul, man, had.
I thought Yellow Submarine was. Yellow Submarine's not Sgt. Pepper's. I was sure it was on there.
No. I
had no idea.
No, was there even besides With a Little Help from My Friends, there were no other Ringo songs on Sgt. Pepper. That was his only. That was the only Ringo song on Sgt. Pepper.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Hold on. Song, Wikipedia.
Doesn't believe me.
No. I just can't believe I've always had this wrong, because you're right. It was included on Revolver.
Yeah, on Revolver first, and then there was the soundtrack album for the movie Yellow Submarine, which had it, of course.
That weird cartoon, dude. So weird.
Really weird cartoon.
That was drugged.
But no, Rubber Soul has Michelle, In My Life, Run for Your Life, I'm Looking Through You, You Won't See Me. Did I say Girl? Really, really good album, Rubber Soul.
All right. I haven't given Rubber Soul enough credit. I usually say White Album when people ask me. I do like the
Nowhere
White Album.
Man, Norwegian Wood.
I do like Norwegian Wood.
Yes.
Which album is the one with the guitar gently weeping? Where's that? What's that on?
I have to look that one up because I am not 100% sure. White Album.
White Album. Oh, maybe that's why I like the White Album, because that song's so good.
Might be why you like the White Album.
It's amazing how a song that great can come out of him, and then later he can do Got My Mind Set on You. You know what I mean?
I know you're not a fan of that song. White Album, if it was just the first disc, the first album, I think I'd like the White Album more. But sides 3 and 4 just feel so. I don't know. There are parts of it that just feel unlistenable. That whole Revolution Mayhem song.
Oh, I don't love.
Like
I've never liked that one either. That's not a great song. People think it
now
is.
the song Revolution number 9. Now the song Revolution, that one I like. You say you want a revolution, but
it's the number 9 we don't like. Number 9.
It's the number 9 we don't like. Exactly.
What's the one with the Bird song that what's his name sings? That Paul McCartney sings.
And Your Bird Can Sing or Blackbird. Blackbird's also on the White Album.
I love that song so much.
Again, sides 1 and 2, man.
I think that's why I love. And it was their last album, right? Before they broke up. That was it.
Oh no, Abbey Road was their last album. They still had after the White Album. They still had.
What is wrong with my memory? I was sure
Magical
the White
Mystery
Album was the last album they did.
And
I was sure of that.
oh yeah, no. Let It Be. That's right. Let It Be was recorded before Abbey Road. There's some weird thing with the timing of Let It Be and Abbey Road, but Let It Be was released last, but they recorded Abbey Road after that.
Paul is dead. Paul is dead. Yeah.
I'm apparently having the same memory issues as far as the Beatles albums. I thought Let It Be was
Yeah, I have Mandela effect hardcore today on all of this.
Yeah.
All of it's out of the order I thought it was. The human brain. All right. Let's do this story here about the
Oh, that's what it was. The recording sessions for Abbey Road were the last ones in which all 4 Beatles participated.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
When we...
Let It Be, they pretty much all just like showed up individually to record their parts.
Oh, I didn't know that. And to have that song be such a big iconic song for them. That's
here we go. Yeah. While it was released, Let It Be, while it was released as the final album of the Beatles, it was the penultimate album to be recorded by the band. So okay. So I did have it right. Let It Be was recorded before Abbey Road but released afterwards.
So in Abbey Road, were they just walking across the street for the one shot, and then otherwise they didn't want to see each other? Like
that's right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it sounds like they were probably not happy then. I don't know. I feel bad when bands feel that way, but I totally get it. You have this huge long career, and you're in such the spotlight, and you know that level of fame and notoriety just as brutal as it is, and then you're 5 creatives trying to make it work. I'm surprised more bands don't break up.
What's funny is that because the Beatles have endured for such a long time, we think of them as having a really long career, but their first album came out in 1963. Their last album came out in 1970, so they were only around for 7 years. There's spaces between Weezer albums that are that long. That's
crazy to
they were
think.
Just around for 7 years.
That is really crazy. But what a impact though.
Exactly. That's why we think of them as being such a band with such longevity.
I think it's because by the time they were doing, they had changed so much because they came over here bowl haircut looking, singing like bebop boys, and then 7 years later they're floating on hippie clouds, smoking ganji.
Totally. I mean, they had like 3 or 4 different kind of evolutions in their style and their sound through all that.
Yeah.
Through those 7 years.
Where did they? I need to look at documentaries. I know this stuff exists. There's supposed to be a really good. The Ron Howard one last year. He put out a documentary, a Beatles documentary.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to be amazing.
God, I haven't seen it. I still say that. I don't even know if it's streamable anywhere, but the Beatles anthology thing that came out in the late 90s, the one where Jeff Lynne worked with the 3 remaining Beatles to record Free as a Bird and Love and stuff like that. That was it was a 3-night television documentary called the Beatles. I think it was called the Beatles Anthology, and that's the best one to watch.
So let me ask you this: if I were to make this statement, there are probably a lot of Blackbird covers. Would you agree? It seems like that's a highly covered song. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yesterday holds the Guinness Book of World Records record for the most covers, although I question the validity of that. Like, I don't know if it's just that one there's more awareness of Yesterday covers, and they're probably counting people who do it in bars and stuff like that. But Blackbird gets a lot of coverage.
It's a good song. I think it's my favorite of all the Beatles songs. I think it's my favorite. That and My Guitar is Gently Weeping, or whatever it's called, however it goes.
Yeah, while my guitar gently weeps.
Check out
My guitar can't keep from crying.
My Guitar is Crying in the Corner is the name of that song.
Which was an answer song to that.
Yeah. Anyway, check this out.
Yes.
A suspected burglar. He burgles. That's what he does.
A burglar.
Yeah.
Burglar.
He's a burglar who likes to burgle. He was cooking breakfast and told a Florida man to go back to sleep. Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Yeah, Florida. Florida's great. A burglar.
You're dreaming.
Yeah, you're fine. Go back to sleep. A burglar broke into a Florida home, cooked himself an early morning meal, and told a resident living there to go back to sleep, according to officials. The home's occupant told investigators he woke to discover the man cooking and eating something after 4 a.m. Tuesday. Fox 13 in Tampa reported, but there's a lot of Fox 13s, by the way, including here. We have a Fox 13.
Yeah, you have a Fox 13. We have a Fox 31, so it's like the reverse.
Oh, weird.
Weird. It's the palindromic.
Oh, I like it. Maybe your guys are less stupid than ours because they're flipped the other direction. Because ours are not great. Anyway.
I don't know.
In Tampa, reported the burglar ran from the house when the resident called 911. Deputies from the... he just had a nice meal, though, so he probably had energy to run. Let's see.
Bacon.
Yeah. County Sheriff's Office tracked down the suspect in a wooded and swampy area behind the home. Deputies said Gavin Grimm, 19-year-old Marine, entered the home through an unlocked rear door. The arrest mentioned that the suspect may have been under the influence of alcohol. I think it was pretty likely.
Wow.
Yeah. Nick's 19.
I don't know, but how was breakfast? I mean, was it good? I mean,
what did the guy have in his fridge? Did you like it? Wow.
You just picture the guy like opening the fridge door like you do, and like, all right, grab eggs and bacon, and you're like trying to hold everything, stacking on top. All right, some of this would be good, and some of this, and
yep. Take the time to make grits.
Right.
I can see that.
Right.
Says he's a Marine. He's 19. My son is 19. I cannot imagine. I'm trying to picture in my head a drunk Nicholas Johnson breaking into someone's home and eating breakfast. What is your life like where you're doing that at 19? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that.
But he's a Marine. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. There you I mean, he's probably a fresh one, right? Don't they? They can't go in until they're 18.
19. He's got to be. Yeah. Right.
Anyway, I've never had a run-in with a drunk Marine, but Gutters O'Toole says he's had a lot of them. Had run-ins with drunk Marines before.
I want to say that Steve Martin had a run-in with a couple of drunk Marines in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, but I can't remember if they were Marines or.
Weren't they? They were Navy guys, right?
Or British Air Force. Oh, they'd be British Air Force.
Oh.
I think one of them. Well, wait a minute. One of them was British. The other one wasn't.
I don't remember now. Why? What am I thinking? I'm thinking of the guys he fought in the bar in the Dvorak Big Nose movie. What was that called?
Oh, and Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. Don't ask me today. I think Abbey Road came out a long time ago, before other albums, so I don't know. Well before
Actually,
the White Album.
50th anniversary of Abbey Road, by the way, is on the 25th of this month, so I'm sure there'll be a Coverville celebrating that very thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The Beatles were only a band for 7 years. A kid was born.
Well, they released albums for 7 years. They were a band for a few years before that, playing in the Cavern Club.
Oh, right, when they were in Germany and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But if you count just the official, like, the albums, a kid was born on the first day of the first album's release, and by the time they quit each other, he was 7 years old. That's so stupid. That's stupid short for such a storied career. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Who else is like that? Nobody. The Stones are still going.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to think of, like, what's a band that we have these days that hit it really big with a bunch of albums, but only lasted 7 years?
Yeah, I can't think of any. Off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Gutters O'Toole. And the Stones have only been a band for 70 years. Yeah. I am, Jackalope. I am. I don't know why. I can't explain it. Time has flummoxed me today. I don't understand it. All right, let's move on to this final story.
Even Oasis wouldn't be around if there weren't the Beatles.
Right. They wouldn't even exist.
18 years the Oasis was around.
Yeah. And you may be able to find somebody who was a band who had some hits who were only together for 7 years or less, but you're not going to find the kind of juggernaut breadth that the Beatles represent. You're never going to find that. For 7 years, not a chance. I mean, Nirvana was together for what? They were there for probably that long, but one of them offed themselves, and that's not you can't count that one.
Right.
Because he killed himself. I mean, sure, you wouldn't have Foo Fighters and all that stuff's great, but...
No, but the actual band Nirvana was around from, that's a good question, 1987 until, when was Kurt's suicide? 94?
94, yeah.
So, I mean, that's it's about 7 years. There you go.
Yeah. And all I'm saying about that is, I don't think you can, even if it's a short period of time, that their catalog nowhere near compares to the Beatles catalog. Like, not even close, right? I don't know. It's a weird thing. The Beatles. It turns out the Beatles are kind of cool, Brian. I think that's what we've come down to here. Turns out they got
Mr. Crazy Neighbor hates the Beatles.
Oh, he does he? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really? Even the trippy Yellow Submarine time
even the acid and pot stuff.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised. The experimental stuff I thought might appeal to him, but maybe not. All right. Final story here for today. Hurricane Dorian delivered cocaine to some Florida beaches. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Oh,
yeah.
Nice of Dorian.
Well, it's the hot new way. Columbia's like, how can we get more cocaine to the mainland? And someone said,
right.
Throw it in the hurricane. Well, it turns out Dorian churned off the coast of Florida and stirred up the sea, and it coughed up something unusual. On Tuesday morning, a beachgoer and his wife were strolling near Paradise Beach Park in Melbourne, which is Florida, we're not talking about Australia.
Right.
When he
not
spotted,
Melbourne, Australia.
yeah, correct. When he spotted a package that looked suspicious and appeared to have washed up from the ocean, his wife flagged down a police officer near them to take a closer look. The package contained cocaine. This is according to a public information officer in the city. The package's lettering, partially concealed by the picture, appears to be diamante, the Spanish word for diamond, but police Wednesday were unable to confirm any of that because the case remains under investigation. That's basically a kilo of illegal drugs. It's a brick of cocaine, and they don't know how it got there, but something to do with the storm. So well done. Good job.
I'm looking to see if there's a picture of the package, because I'm trying to decide how suspicious something would have to look for me to find a package on the beach and say, no, I want to get a policeman over here to look at this thing.
Yeah.
Or if it's like, oh, this could be a big bag of stolen money or something, or a.
Yeah, I would worry about explosives, except it came out of the ocean. I guess I'd be less worried about that.
Yeah.
It could be.
So it's just brick size. It's just a black brick that's been wrapped in so much tape it's waterproof.
Hey, Jamie, at one point today, Brian said, I want to see a picture of this package. I want you to capture that.
I want to see a picture of this package.
Dice Tomato says there are a lot of hip hop artists that are as influential and have only been around a short time. Biggie and Tupac, for example. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, they're probably the best. Certain hip hop artists are probably the best second example I can think of. Yeah. With the impact in the way that the impact came from the Beatles, like to have that would be a similar case. Sorry, that was jumping all over the place. Nothing to do with cocaine on the beach. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, major spoilers, Trek Nerd, and more. So come back for those things. Before we do that, though, we have to, by law, play a song. And Brian brought one. What do you have?
I did. Let's go to Bournemouth in the United Kingdom, the UK. For a guy who was classically trained on piano, but is now kind of all over dance music. This is really, really good. This is an EDM instrumental. The performer is SRJ, and the brand new album is called Electro Funk Dance Floor. The song is You and I. Here is SRJ.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
If you want to get serious about it,
That's the wrong thing. What happened there? Hold on. That's not playing right.
But I do want to get serious about it.
No, these are just backwards. Hold on. Okay, I'll know to fix this because I'm going to mark it. Hold on, everybody. Scott screwed up. I got the A's where the A's should be. There we go. Take that one out of there. Okay, sorry. All right. Now I'll say we'll be back on the other side.
Very nice.
If you want to get serious about it, I'm up for building phalluses.
The Morning Stream. No, you better don't.
right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Time to bring Steven among us. Whoops.
Among Us.
He goes under the name Major Spoilers. That's why I didn't get him right away. There we go. All right, let's bring him in. Let's talk to him. Let's see what's up in his world right now. But first, this. Steven Schleicher, all the way from Majorspoilers.com and Hayes, Kansas. Steven, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Is it tornado season for you there in Kansas?
Usually that's the spring, but with the wacky weather we've been having, don't know why it's been wacky. Yeah, there have been some tornadoes recently.
All right. Are you anywhere in the path of any sort of thing, or is it you pretty safe?
Knock on wood.
Depends on your Sharpie.
Yeah. Yeah. That's basically it. I mean, we're right at Hayes is at a weird dry line, where we used to be, I should say, where the mountain air would come down and it would seem to hit just east of us. So it was like east and south of us would always get hit. But because of the weather as it comes up from Santa Fe and collide with that mountain air, it just kind of avoids us for the most part. Although we do get tornadoes, though.
Well, it's good to see that Hayes is
out
of the way.
The city has just not been hit in a long time.
Sure. The city of Hayes. Hey,
knock on wood again. Not asking for it, but
you don't want one. This is not us. Yeah, we're not. This isn't us invoking the weather gods to give us a tornado. Please.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird you bring it up because I got a notice on my thing. Hey, severe weather expected in your area for the next 24 hours. So thanks, Scott. Thanks.
Yep.
Dang it.
Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, it's good to have you here. We usually bring Steven on and go, hey, what's going on in pop culture or going on in comics or movies or TV or whatever. And that's kind of a weird dry news period. We kind of, we had D20 from Disney and that was cool. And that pretty much flooded everything with everything. And then things kind of calmed down a little bit. There've been a couple of trailers here and there for things people are excited about. But what we thought we'd do today is Steven would swoop in here and talk quickly about 3 comic books that you didn't read over the last 2 weeks, but you probably should have. So,
I love it. Some things that have popped up over the last couple of weeks that should have probably gotten a lot more attention from mainstream press, but really didn't. 2 of them, I think, are worth noting. The first is Spawn number 300, which came out last week from Image Comics. Now, this is a huge milestone because even though Image Comics is a little bit bigger than what you might think of an independent publisher, Spawn is now one of the longest running independent comics out there. As it hits issue 300. And it's a huge issue. It brings back Todd McFarlane and Greg Capullo in there doing a bunch of stuff. It's got other artists like J. Scott Campbell, Jason Alexander, and Scott Snyder also doing a lot of work in this book as well. So if you're a Spawn fan, and I know, Scott, you're a big fan of Spawn.
I used to be.
Issue 300 came out last week, and you should have probably picked it up.
I used to be a huge fan. I'd catch it every month. I'd probably have the first 60 issues or something somewhere. I really did follow it for the story, and then somebody reminded me one day. They said, the story's not very good. I said, what do you mean? And they said it's not good. It's a lot of flash and a lot of amazing art and some cool concepts, but really the story is pretty low bar. And I went and reread a bunch of it and went, oh, you know what? They're not wrong. It's not great. It's okay, but I kind of stopped investing in it. And that's too bad because I do really like the character and I like stuff about it. I certainly should probably get issue 300 just because I'm a McFarlane fan. I'm a huge Capullo fan. I love Scott Snyder. What's he doing? Is he writing part of it, or what's?
No, he's doing the art. There's like 5 different chapters and 5 different Spawn veterans come in and do some stuff.
I didn't know.
It's almost like an anthology issue kind of thing.
Wait, Scott Snyder. I didn't know he was an artist at all. I thought he only wrote.
He was J. Scott Campbell, but no, and so they've got different writers as well. So Scott Snyder is doing some art.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I thought you said Campbell. Sorry.
No, it's all right. We got 2 Scotts, 3 Scotts really, if you count me. We're all talking at once. That's cool. And J. Scott Campbell, he can bring in the sexy ladies. That's his job, right?
Yeah, he can. Yeah, or sexy clown or sexy Spawn.
Yeah, that's his job. He makes the sexy people. He does a real good job of that. All right, Gen 13 and all that. I remember that. That was a controversial comic. Remember Gen 13? Remember that thing?
I don't know if it was so much controversial so much as it was with Fairchild and the way she was drawn. And especially when they did the 13 variant covers, that pretty much was the final nail in the coffin for 90s comics. So.
Yeah. She was porny.
Right.
She was super porny.
Well, the whole thing was, yeah.
He was kind of porny.
Ginormous boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dice,
itty bitty waist.
Dice Tomato in the chat throughout. He misses Michael Turner. Yes, passed way too soon. That guy was great. He did Fathom.
Although, if
good.
you are a big Michael Turner fan, Aspen Comics continues to crank out some fairly interesting comics. Aspen and I forget what the other one is, but I don't know if they are, if before Turner died, if he just cranked out a ton of artwork, poses and stills or whatnot. But you can still see Turner's art on the cover of a lot of those Aspen comics.
Oh, that's cool. He did.
Yeah.
My memory of him, or when I really got into him, was when he was lead artist on Witchblade for a long time. And he just blew my mind. I just thought he was so good, and I was going to follow him wherever he went, and he died way too soon. That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
having him pass away that early. But anyway, all right. So there you go. So you got your Spawn 300. And is the McFarlane? How's the McFarlane art hold up? How's it look? Because he did cover, right?
It looks fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He also did some of the interiors. I think he did the art on the Snyder piece, so it's fine. If you're a fan, and I would say if you are a fan of McFarlane, follow him on Instagram, because he'll also often do these Instagram live events where he just sits down and goes, okay, let me show you how to draw eyes. And he'll sit down and he'll draw Spider-Man and show how you draw the Spider-Man eye and how you draw the mask and everything. So,
he does
follow him on Instagram.
Does little short tutorials. They're very good too. Especially his eye one, in particular the one that's just an eyeball. At first I thought he was going full anime with it, and I was kind of annoyed. But by the time he was done, it's a very cool technique, and I've used it twice as a result in a couple of things that were a little more serious and it needed, kind of a more realistic look to the eyeball. It's very good. Like, legitimately,
that's cool.
Guy has stuff to say, and he has no reason to even care about doing that, but he does it. So I think it's great.
Yeah, Jim Lee will often jump on Instagram or one of the Twitter live story things and do some drawing stuff. I've not ever seen Rob Liefeld do anything. What is his name? Portaccio.
Oh, Will Portaccio,
I have not seen him do anything live recently, but there are still some image founders and creators. What's his name? Who does Savage Dragon? Eric Larson.
Yeah.
I think he does some stuff every once in a while, but he's more on the side of, let me tell you how indie comics run. And if you follow him on Twitter, he has many, many opinions that you can check out.
Oh yeah, and he's really into the porny right now. He likes the porn.
Oh yeah, especially with Savage Dragon right around issue. I think they was like 200 or something like that.
Yeah.
Man, he went on to the crazy R-rated stuff to the point where Diamond won't. I think you have to direct order it. The comic shop has to direct order it because it's not something that they just put out on the stands. And Larson's like, look, if this is what my audience wants and they're going to buy it, then that's what I'm going to do. So.
Yeah, he basically brown bagged his work. He didn't. And it went from like this more of an adventure indie hero comic in the early days to this like it's just real lewd now. Lewd.
Yeah. Oh anyway. No, it's like, hey, you want to see him get it on with 3 other people, and it's not the main Savage Dragon, it's his son Malcolm.
Yeah.
But man, there's like 3-way, 4-way, 20-way. It's just it gets pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, if you're curious, I think it's Obsidian just put it in the chat. Issue 225 of Savage Dragon is kind of the one that put it over the top. So enjoy. Tell us about Wicked plus Divine 45. What is this?
Oh man, now this is a nice series, and it's a closed series now because issue 45 that came out last week was the final issue for that. This is a story about these 12 gods that reincarnate as humans every 90 years, and then there is an event, and then they die. They reincarnate as these 20-somethings. They live their lives and then die by the time they're 23 or something like that. And so there have just been a recent reincarnation of them. Some of them start to die, and it becomes this kind of really weird mystery whodunit, exploring what it means to be human and what it means to be a god. And, it incorporates a lot of music because they all kind of reincarnate as some kind of pop star in some way, shape, or form. And then something happens, and the series ends very differently than the premise of every 90 years, 12 gods incarnate as humans.
Wow.
And it's very cool, and it finally ended with issue 45, and I think it is worth checking out.
All right.
and people should go check that out as
You've
well.
never steered me wrong. I'll take your advice.
This is a pretty interesting series in just the premise and the way that it's set up. It does get a little violent at times, but there's nothing in it that is too bad. I think it answers a lot of questions, or it asks a lot of questions, and then expects the audience to kind of find their own answers to it. And there's a huge fan group on this.
That's awesome. Tell me about Marvel 1000.
So, Action Comics over at DC hit issue 1000 last year. Detective Comics recently hit issue 1000. And Marvel, who's notorious for releasing new number ones every couple of months, has said, hey, we've been around for a long time, too. How about we release our 1000th issue? And instead of having maybe like 5 artists like Spawn 300, how about we have like 5 million artists and 5 million writers? Basically, for as thick as this story is, every page is a new story, new artist, new creative team, new writing team for the entire issue. And from everything that I have heard, I haven't read this myself, it's a $10 book. But for the 80th anniversary, Marvel has told this story that travels through the entire history of the Marvel universe. It incorporates basically every Marvel character ever, including some of the ones that you haven't seen since the golden age of comics. And it's a well thought out story from every review I have read, including the one that we have over at majorspoilers.com. It is a well done story and worth checking out.
See, I would be worried hearing about that. I'd be like, oh, it's just going to be a
It's
gimmick.
a money grab.
Yeah, it's a gimmick. They're going to put all these characters in there to try to get me to spend money on it. But you're saying they
kind of, and it ties into the 70th anniversary story that they did 10 years ago. And supposedly there's some storyline that threads through all of the bits of this book that is setting up for a future event. I'm not saying it's a must-have book or that you have to rush out and buy it in order to understand what's coming next. But for fans of Marvel Comics, Brian, I would expect you might be interested in picking this book up just to see all the creators and the writers and the artists and the editors and everybody who worked together to make this book a success. And really the success of this book has to go to Tom Brevoort, who is the editor of this and managing, I think it's like 50 different artists, 50 different writers, to manage all of that and put it together in a story that makes sense is, he deserves some credit for that.
Sounds cool.
All right. I'm into it. I would think that normally that sort of stuff turns me off, but you've convinced me I should check it out. All right.
Yeah,
Buffy the
if you have $10, if you want to spend that much.
Sure. That's a chunk of money. Buffy the Vampire Slayer number 8.
Now, here is a series that, man, if you guys were fans of the WB series from back in the day, and you were worried that this was just rehashing stuff, or if for those of you that don't know the story, Buffy the Vampire Slayer had a continuation of the series over at Dark Horse Comics for a number of years, where they basically were like, here's where the TV series ended, here's where the comic begins, and it's all part of that main continuity. The licensing has now shifted over to Boom Studios, and they are doing a Buffy the Vampire Slayer that's essentially a reboot, where it's everything you kind of know, but done in a very different way. And the first arc was fantastic because it looked at Xander, I'm not going to say what the end of that arc was, but maybe not becoming a vampire himself. But one of the big storylines, especially in season 1 of Buffy, was the introduction of the Hellmouth. And Buffy the Vampire Slayer number 8 is the prelude to this big Hellmouth arc that they have coming up, I think, next month, either at the end of this month or the first of next month. That's going to tie the Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the Angel series together. And already the Hellmouth series, I think, is going back for a second, maybe even a third printing before it's even published. And I read Buffy the Vampire Slayer number 8 last week, and it's really solid. It is really setting up who the good guys are, who the bad guys are, what's going to happen when the Hellmouth opens, and the key to opening the Hellmouth is revealed in Buffy the Vampire Slayer number 8. So if you're a Buffy fan and you're looking for kind of a new take on Buffy, I've been super pleased with this series since the beginning.
Okay.
Cool.
And this is a continuation of when they did the season 6 thing and then just kept going?
Nope. This is all new.
So this is just like fresh start stuff. Okay.
Yeah, this is fresh start in a whole new way. It's basically a reboot or a remake of the Buffy universe. It's got the same characters that you're very familiar with, except they're presented in very different ways. Like in issue 8, for example, Giles is much, much older and much, much heavy set than Stuart Anthony Head from the or is it Stuart Anthony Head?
Anthony Stewart Head.
Anthony Stewart Head, whatever. That actor.
Anthony Michael Head.
Anthony Michael Head. That's the guy.
Anthony Michael Hall Head. I don't know.
Do they still have the werewolf kid who was played by what's his name? I can't think of his name.
I don't remember if he is in. I don't remember seeing him because really the first arc is here's Buffy. She's a new person in town. She's meeting Willow and Xander. Willow is already deep into Wiccan stuff in this series. Xander feels left out. He is lured to the dark side. And then after that issue resolves, that arc resolves, we're starting to get into this Hellmouth series with the appearance of Angel and Spike and Drusilla and all those big bads that everybody knows and loves. But it's really very different than the TV series.
Well, that seems like.
Did you say which studio or which publisher put
this
that?
Is Boom Studios.
Boom Studios. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like Boom. Boom is good. Boom is great.
Comixology will have that, right?
Yes, they do have all of these. In fact, all of these. Spawn 300, Buffy, Marvel 1000, Wick Div. You can get all of those on Comixology.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Well, that's excellent.
And if you don't want to buy these now, and the other thing, buddy, this past week, digital comics represent about 20, let's just say an average of 20% of all the comics sold in the industry. They would love for you to go out and spend $10 on the Marvel number 1000, but if you wait a little bit, a couple of months, if you don't want to jump on this now, in a couple of months, these issues drop from their cover price of $3.99 to as low as $1.99 or 99 cents. So if you want to wait a little bit, you can often catch these things at a discount. And if you follow Comixology, they often have sales. They had a big one over Labor Day where a big run of comics was discounted. I have a feeling that if you've never read Star Wars comics, that as the new Star Wars movie approaches, that they'll have a big run where you can buy the entire Star Wars collection for, like $50 or something.
Really?
They've run different deals over the years, so you just have to kind of keep an eye out.
That's a great price. I'd do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Excellent stuff, as always. Now, here's the thing. If you're like, man, there's a lot to keep track of, and I wish I knew more about comics, I got a great website for you. It's majorspoilers.com. Steven's over there curating some of the best content ever, so you should be over there checking it out all the time. Steven, anything else happening that we should let people know about this week?
The New York Comic-Con, it's not coming up this week, but the New York Comic-Con is coming up at the first week of October, and that's what everyone is getting geared up for right now. And so you're going to start seeing some hints, some announcements of things coming at New York Comic-Con, but I have a feeling why we're not seeing anything big and new jumping out in our faces like we did a couple of weeks ago with Disney's D23 is because everyone's waiting for NYCC.
Oh, right. Yeah, because that's coming up. That'll be fun. I always like to... Yeah, go ahead.
Plus, everyone's going back to school, and so there's usually a dip in comic sales right around this time. Yeah. So everyone's kind of quiet. But there's some great comics out there, and I've just shared some of those with you guys this week.
Yeah, nice work. Steven Schleicher, everybody. Major Spoilers on Twitter. Follow him there. Have a good conversation in public with him. That's fine. Steven, take it easy. We'll talk to you soon.
Stay hydrated.
Bye now. Oh, I won't hang up on him, though. Well,
hang up on me.
I won't hang up on you. I don't know why.
Maybe I'll do it. Here.
Won't hydrate.
Hold on. Oh, I lost everything. Hold on. It killed my connection. Hold on. Coming back in. Connecting. Hold on. I don't know what happened. It's just sitting there. And I don't know why. So I'm going to save this because that's really weird. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let me try that again. I guess I'll exit again. I'll wait for it to exit. Okay, we'll run it again. Ignore. Okay, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know what happened. It kicked as soon as I tried to kick him out. It kicks me out. So
that's funny. Yeah.
All right, let me send my camera back. You send yours back. Okay, we're good now.
Yeah, we're all good.
Everything's
good.
Fine. Everything's fine.
It's funny. For a minute, it was him and me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I went to remove him from the list, and it just kicked me out. And then I tried to get back in, and it wouldn't let me. So something got weird. All right, let me restart the audio here. Okay, we're back, everybody. Small glitch.
Cool.
Small glitches mean nothing to
It's a
us.
small glitch after all.
Yeah, it's a small glitch after all. Trek Nerd incoming. Don't know what we're talking to him about. We should ask him if he ate. I did send him some of these salt lemon things. We should see
Did you? Nice.
Yeah, we should see if he ate it.
Hope
Hi,
you-
Daryl.
Hope you enjoyed those.
What did I eat?
Did you eat these salt lemon candy things I sent you?
Japanese.
They're in a drawer. They look really good. I haven't eaten them yet.
Are they in the drawer there at work or at home?
No, they're at home.
Damn it. Not because we're going to eat them, because we already did. I want you to do it. I want you to taste it. I want you to have it on the air. I want you to feel gross while you do it, because it is gross. Mm-hmm. So next time...
Really? But it's lemons.
It's salt. Salty lemon.
Oh.
Yeah, when life hands you lemons, don't get salt on them.
Yeah, if life gives you lemons, put a load of salt on those things. Everyone says, look at that, Dragon. I've heard multiple people now say we're crazy and that these are good. They're not good. They're bad.
You're crazy.
They're
You're
bad.
all crazy.
Okay, I vow to bring them next time.
All right. We appreciate the vow. Hey, everybody, check it out. It's Daryl Skeels. He's the Trek Nerd. We talk about Star Trek stuff. There's not a ton going on. However, today is, Star Trek's birthday. On this day in 1966, The Man Trap aired.
Yes.
Ooh.
The world got their first taste of Trek, and Gene Roddenberry went out of his father actually ran out of the house and ran around to the neighbors saying, I'm sorry for what my son did.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What did he do that for? What was the deal there?
I don't know. His dad wasn't a big fan of it, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
It was so different and weird.
I guess so, but still, he had no idea how big a thing this was going to be. I'm gonna say I'm glad Gene didn't listen to his dad. His dad sounds like a butt.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So how many years is that then? 66. So 50. What is that?
50 million.
53 years or 54 years.
54 years. There's the math we were looking for.
No, I'm sorry, that's not right. 53 years.
Oh, 53 years. Okay. Still, that's pretty good. Well done, Star Trek. And you can go watch The Man Trap on Netflix and remind yourself what that must have felt like for people. Someone in the chat room says, Darth Marquis says, ask Trek Nerd if he remembers when Tom Morello was on Voyager. Watch that episode this weekend. First of all, Daryl, do you know who Tom Morello is?
That sounds super familiar.
He is a guitarist, bass guitarist, not bass. Yeah, the Rage Against the Machine bassist, right? Or guitarist.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm saying bassist.
Yep.
And then he went on later to do that thing with Chris Cornell called... It was him and Cornell doing a band, Audio Slave. They did that.
Audio Slave, right.
Anyway, he's cool, and I didn't know he was on Voyager, so nice call out there, Darth Marquis. Darth Marcus.
I'll add that to my list of things to watch.
Yeah,
that's cool. I just watched an episode of Enterprise. I decided to go back and watch season 4 of Enterprise because we stopped at season 3, and I hear everybody says, "Oh, well, you got to watch season 4 of Enterprise. That's the best season."
Really?
So I went back and
My experience was, which was the last season? 4?
Season 4 was the last season.
I thought everybody said 3 was the best, and then 4 was phoned in because everybody knew they were getting canceled. But maybe that was all just rumor and scuttlebutt.
I don't know. I've been enjoying season 4, but there's an episode where Tucker moves from the Enterprise over to the Columbia, and one of his charges, one of the people that's working under him, is Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was the one. Wasn't he also in Voyager for some hot minute? I think
was he?
MacFarlane, or I must be thinking of Enterprise then. I was thinking, I knew he was in some Star Trek thing, or maybe I'm thinking of The Rock. The Rock was in something. Maybe that was also.
Oh
Enterprise.
Yeah, he's in Voyager.
Is it Voyager? Okay, yeah. Dwayne The Rock Johnson was in Voyager for like 5 seconds.
Wow.
Oh no, he had a whole episode to himself.
Oh, he did?
Oh, did he really? Oh, see,
Yeah.
Voyager I never got back to, so maybe that's the next one I watch is Voyager. I think we watched the first season and stopped after that.
It gets way better after the first season.
Does it?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it suffers
It's
from that.
great when
It suffers from that first season. Always sucks on Star Trek problem. They all are kind of bad for sure. First season,
except for the first series.
Yeah, the first series. I mean, you're only going to get 3 anyway, and some of its best stuff happening 1 and 3 was season 3 was bad.
Hit the ground running.
Yeah, but all of the newer Treks like TNG and Forward, their first seasons are always rough. Every damn one of them. I don't know what that was about. And I would even say Discovery, compared to season 2, had a rougher first season. I still liked it, but wasn't perfect. Trying to find their
finally found its footing in season 2.
Yeah. In TNG years, I wouldn't say things got good till like late 3 or 4.
3 or 4,
Right. Yeah.
2 was still shaky ground. Yeah.
2 was real rough. I mean, it had some moments that I liked, but Anyway, it doesn't matter. Important thing is celebrate any way you want to. Also, the Kelvin Timeline trilogy in 4K for $34 on Amazon. What is the Kelvin Timeline trilogy? What the hell does that even mean?
The 3 movies.
Oh, the new movies.
The J.J. Abrams. Yeah.
Is it bad? I only like the third one. I think I'm weird.
No, I agree.
It's the most Star Trek of the 3 movies,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like I don't know. I don't know why I feel this way. People get mad at me for that, and the Tom Hardy one with Picard. Nemesis. Nemesis, right?
Nemesis, right?
People give me shit about that one, and I also think that's one of the better Trek movies. I think either I'm weird or I'm onto something, but the third of the new modern trilogy, I just think is a better movie than the other 2. And a lot of people really like that first one, but, or if they're picking their favorite of the 3, they pick that one. But I think that third one is the one, man. It's real good, real good.
It's they really did their research and figured out what they were doing and what Trek was about, and made a Trek movie.
They did, and it still had what's his name in it as Chekhov, which is nice. It's nice to have him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does make me wonder if at this stage they even do another one of those. Everyone's careers are kind of in lots of different places.
Yeah.
But leaving it there for him is probably okay. I don't know. That guy, his death is a freaking crime against humanity. It sucks. It's not good.
Yeah.
Now that CBS and Paramount are back together, who knows what we'll get? Maybe we'll get a Discovery movie.
Oh, could be.
Interesting.
That'd be all right. I mean, it's almost a movie anyway, the way that show
Oh,
works.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, Discovery Season 2 Blu-ray out on November 12th. So if you missed it the first time around or didn't want to get CBS All Access, you can now get the
don't want to pay for CBS. Exactly. If you don't want to pay CBS All Access, then this is the way to do it.
Oh, this
And
reminds
as
me.
I always,
Oh, go ahead. I'll remember.
as I always say, wait a couple months and the prices will go way down.
Yeah.
You're right. I got to show you this real quick. Simon Pegg. You know Simon Pegg. Scotty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Got it.
Among other things.
He doesn't fit in a round hole.
No. He's don't try to force him in a round hole.
And Shaun of the Dead and
Yeah, everyone loves him.
Yes.
He's great. And he's in a
everybody
million things.
Who doesn't love Simon Pegg?
Everyone loves him. He was in The Boys recently. Played
The dad is the dad in The Boys.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was great in that. Anyway, watching the this is sadly this is going to probably tell you guys what my recommendal is for Wednesday, but we have been watching the new Dark Crystal series, and come to find out, one of the Skeksis, in particular the Chamberlain.
Oh no! Really?
Wait, let me make sure I'm telling you right on the character.
Oh,
Yeah, that's him.
That one?
That is freaking him.
Simon
Pegg is playing that role. And I'll tell you about some crazy casting in this thing. Eddie Izzard is in this thing. He plays he plays one of the my brain's not working today, but the little elf people, the Gelflings. He plays one of them. He's like a gypsy that does predictions and stuff. He's fantastic in it. I'm going to do this now because why not? That series is so good. Even if you think the original Dark Crystal is weird and old, this thing is magical and amazing. I love it. I'm loving we're not quite done, but I'm loving every freaking second of it. It is so good. It's the best fantasy series on TV right now. And I mean that. I'm not just being hyperbolous. It's fan-freaking-tastic. And if we could dig Jim Henson up and bring him back to life, he would be proud of how they've stuck the landing here, how they've got his vision. It's so good.
We are working on that. Science is working on that, by the way.
It's so good, you guys. I really like it. Anyway, and then there's another Discovery connection because Captain Gargoyle or whatever his name. What was the guy in the first season? What was his name? Captain Gungan Gargamel. What was it?
Talking about Anson Mount?
No, the other one, the season
not
one.
Anson Mount. No, that was Pike.
Season one. It was
yes, the one that turned bad.
Lucius Malfoy actor.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Jason Isaacs played him. Anyway,
Yeah.
he's the Skeksis emperor in this Dark Crystal series. He's fantastic.
Wow.
And the guy even says, remember this is a prequel? There's a scene where the emperor goes, "And one day we'll all be brought back to the dust from whence we came." And if you remember in the movie, the emperor turns to dust. It was this great little foreshadowing moment.
Oh,
anyway,
wow. Yeah.
that series is rad. It's like
That's cool.
puppetry is great. It's amazing puppetry. It's never there are CGI stuff just to kind of enhance things, but it never feels like in the way or like a mistake. It just feels right. It's so good. Oh, Lorca, Captain Lorca. That's the name.
Lorca,
Yeah.
Captain Lorca. That's right.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't put that one on my list yet to watch. It was, probably something I was going to eventually get to. Now I'm going to kind of move it up a little bit.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm going to do it again Wednesday, but I really like it. It's fantastic.
I have it on my list, but I wasn't that excited. But now I kind of am.
You should be. I am not overselling it. It's really something else. And I guess if you absolutely hate everything about the idea of the Dark Crystal, then maybe this isn't for those people. But but I can tell you that it's like a billion times better than that movie was. But all the things
really?
that made
Okay.
the movie,
Wow.
all the things that made the movie cool, and that made you at least appreciate it for what it was, that's all here in spades. And they just blow it up. It's huge now. It's just like this big epic. It's production value is like freaking Lord of the Rings level stuff. It's great. Oh
All right.
man.
I'm in.
Daryl finally nothing. There's nothing else. Discovery Blu-ray.
Daryl finally nothing.
Daryl finally nothing. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
My
to
Roku was struck by lightning. So
Shut up. That's cool. What was it really?
I think so. There was a huge thunderstorm on Saturday, and after that,
Oh wow.
the Roku won't play anything but YouTube videos.
Oh man. I just that's crazy. I've never had a piece that I know of. I've never had anything get electrocuted from a lightning strike. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what else it could be.
Well, maybe you just had a power surge. It's possible you had a power surge that wasn't related to that.
Oh, I've tried restarting and going back to factory settings and everything.
Yeah.
Won't do it.
Roku
Wow.
is Goku. All right, well,
Yeah.
maybe Roku now has a lightning port. Icor just submitted to this thing. That's funny.
Wah, wah, wah.
Very funny. Daryl Skeels, everybody. He is the Trek Nerd on Twitter. You can also find him at a little show called This Week in Trek at thisweekintrek.com, where he and Mike talk about Star Trek stuff. He does this thing I've noticed Mike does every Saturdays watching TNG episodes. He calls it Saturday Trek Night or something. Are you doing that too?
Oh yeah. No, they watch a TOS episode and comment on it on Twitter.
Took a
live.
a live tweet of
Yeah.
a 50-year-old thing, 60-year-old, whatever it is. Well, that's fantastic. Daryl Skeels, everybody, whose camera has been looking up at the ceiling this whole time. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time.
Ga ga ga.
Bye.
See you, Daryl.
I didn't show anyone that, but he just turned his camera north, and he didn't have to accept with his camera. I don't know why he did that.
I know. I don't know. Like you could just join call with phone, like audio only.
Yeah, do what you want to do, I guess. Brian, there's time for one more thing.
Tell me we have time for a mashup, Scott. Is there time for a mashup?
We do. Yes. The answer is yes.
Thank you.
And we're going to play this one. It's called Dirt Pickle. Don't remember the reference, but Dirt Pickle it is. And I'm going to play it right now. Here you go. Maybe. Why isn't it playing? Hold on. Here you go. It's deliberate. That's a bad accent.
The secret ingredient.
Oh, what's Bobby Flay going to do this week with it? Now he's got to work with P.
Pretty methy.
You guys have made a lot of meth. It's a big myth.
Look, Quisan. Yes, go ahead. Yes, it looks like he's peeing in the chafing dish. He's peeing in the chafing dish and placing it in the microwave. All right, thank you.
They just get a nice bundle of raw dog and Brian and Scott.
Please keep this anonymous. I work there. We're all out of the sauce, the sandwich pickles. Gladly pay you Tuesday for fun today.
With the Kuisan, yes. He's making a urine ice cream now.
You think all the contestants today knew to bring a full bladder? They didn't know what the secret ingredient was, but now they do.
The drugs I really want are in your butt.
You're keeping the good stuff in your butt.
Kuisan, yes. He's now going into the audience to request pee from audience members.
Oh, just
I
stop
drove
it.
by the Abbeys there in downtown Adelaide, and they had a sign outside that said we have the meats. I felt like it was a deliberate slam at me because I'm a vegan.
Attached a hot box to the side where you put your wood.
The hot box where you put your wood. All right. Bring back the
Getting too old for the danger zone. Gonna take my walker to the danger zone.
Salted lemon candies. How do they work? Why am I here?
Also, take your pants off. Mario and Luigi's Super Saga, whatever it is.
Mario and Luigi Super Soggy.
Oh, no, Mario, he'd say.
Oh no, you dropped your sandwich into the toilet.
Oh, it's soggy. It's soggy. Mine is called the Dirt Pickle. I'm proud of it.
Dirt pickle.
Yeah, Dirt Pickle.
I fell on the ground, penis first, and now I call it the dirt pickle.
Well, I wasn't really referring to my peen, but I get you. I got you.
Right.
All right, now I remember that reference. It's what I named my.
Was that a boop?
Yeah, it was a boop show thing, and I think it was that I named my No Man's Sky ship the Dirt Pickle. I think is what that was.
Oh. I forgot that you could rename that too. I forgot you could rename planets, and I really should do that because it's like the planets that I'm trying to find. It's like, all right, now is my home base the one I'm looking for on the Alturius's flats or something like that? You know, some dumb name. I should just call it Planet with lots of ferrite dust.
You totally could do that, yeah.
Sure.
Or if you find a water planet just full of underwater resources that you absolutely need, you just name it like, Water Stash or something.
Aqualand.
Yeah, Aqualand. But you can name them anything. I think it doesn't ding you if it's sweary even. You can just do whatever you want.
No.
Yeah. So I like naming dumb stuff like that. Dirt Pickle's pretty good ship name.
Dirt Pickle.
All right. We have done all we can do. We really have, everybody. So thanks for being here. It's a Monday. We really cranked it. And tomorrow will be Tuesday. We got more. We got the whole week out of us. So we're looking forward to TMS pretty much every day. So come back for all of that. Yeah. In the meantime, check us out at patreon.com/TMS. Support us where you can, how you can, when you can. We would love it. And it's a brand new month, sort of. It's the 9th, but kind of the new month. Now would be the time.
Where'd the month go?
That's right. Hop on and be a part of it. It's magical. Also, frogpants.com/TMS for all other things you're looking for. You're trying to contact us, looking for our Twitter accounts, all that stuff. It's all right there. All right, Brian. Song, please play one.
Song. Tom Robinson wrote in and said, Brian, September 9th is Jessica's birthday, as it has been for the past 30 plus years. Haha. Even wrote haha. Oh. Will you grace her with a cover? We both can't wait for next year's TMS Vegas. Signed, Tom Robinson. He says, P.S. Scott, I requested this from you last year and it was fun to hear. So again, can you play a random film sack clip and try and guess the movie that it came from?
Oh yeah, I remember this.
I love this. Yeah.
Okay, a random one. I'm gonna just drill down. Here we go.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, that doesn't count. That's not even from the movie.
Yeah.
All right, let's do
Terminator Salvation outtakes.
All right, here we go.
Taking me to breakfast.
Taking me to breakfast.
Taking me to breakfast.
Taking me to breakfast.
That's a lady, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who's saying that too.
Let me play the clip on top of it and below it as hints. So we'll see.
Shiny.
Okay, that was on top of it, and then this one below it.
Let's violate his ass right now.
That's Justified. Oh no, he's in the movie though. That's the guy from Justified.
Oh, is that Elephant? Timothy Elephant?
No, it's the Bubba Gump shrimp guy, who was also on Justified for the last few seasons. He was the guy that ran the mob up in the hills. Oh my gosh, let me try another one.
Give me all you got! Give me all you got!
That sounds like
Man.
That sounds like Al Pacino, doesn't it?
No, that's John Travolta.
Give me all you got! Give me all you got!
Oh.
Maybe not.
Oh, no, you're right. It's Swordfish. You're right. Because the Taking Me to Breakfast, that's what's her name?
Taking me to breakfast?
That's what's her name? That's
Holly Berry.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Is it Halle Berry?
Halle Berry.
All right. That is fun. I like doing that.
That is a fun game.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
Back to you,
Benjamin got it and said was Halle Berry
Nice
pretty
job.
early on. So well done.
Nice job. Anyway, where were we? Song. Oh yeah.
Song. Right. So Tom suggested a Robert Palmer cover. How about a Robert Palmer cover? This is such a fun one. Katie Malua recorded this for the soundtrack to Nancy Drew. Never saw the movie, but I like the soundtrack because it's got a lot of covers on it. Came out in 2010. Want to say Anne Hathaway, right? Was Nancy Drew in that? Am I remembering?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that at all.
I've batted 1,000 with all my memories of movies today, so I'm not even going to try to actually get something right. Katie Malua recorded this cover, Looking for Clues, originally Robert Palmer. Here's Katie Malua.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Yeah, thanks, Justin.
You're welcome. You must be a cheater.
Yeah.
All right, let me save that and pull this up. All right, we're in the post show.
I was being sarcastic.